And welcome back to the David67 Celtic News YouTube channel. Whilst we're waiting for something to happen in terms of the transfer window, the long promised incoming transfer of a new striker such as Sidney van Hooijdonk, and upgrades at left back, defensive midfield and goalkeeper, whilst waiting for all those things to miraculously happen up to Thursday midnight. I thought I would do a wee video looking ahead to next season, where we're almost certainly going to have to deal with Matt O'Reilly moving on to richer teams in richer leagues, and so we'll be needing to fill quite a big hole in the Celtic 11. The obvious candidate and player to step forward to fill in the O'Reilly role would be Paulo Bernardo. We have him on loan from Benfica to the end of the season with an option to purchase thought to be around 5 or 6 million euros, which seems a perfectly reasonable fee for a player of his abilities and potential in the long run, and is a deal similar to the one that we had for Jota and for Cameron Carter-Vickers. Now, Bernardo did have a wee bit of a slow start to his Celtic career, found it initially difficult to get past David Turnbull, but did in the end, and then obviously then had Rio Hatate as being his main rival in the midfield three beside McGregor and O'Reilly. Bernardo did play quite a number of the European matches with relative success, and then with the combination of Rio Hatate being injured and then away currently on Asian Cup duty, Paulo Bernardo has moved in to be the regular third member of Celtic's midfield three, and I think actually Riley McGregor and Bernardo have formed a good partnership once each of them has worked out their role within those three, and I think they all do actually support each other very well, with Bernardo dropping back to allow McGregor to go forward, Bernardo going up to support O'Reilly in the final third, etc. So, thought also I would just pop in a wee highlights reel. This is a combination of some of his Celtic highlights this year and also his Portuguese under-21 highlights for this year as well. So, after the wee video, we'll have another wee chat regarding Paulo Bernardo, some of his stats, and also what his key good attributes are that would allow him to be the O'Reilly replacement in 24-25. So hopefully you enjoyed that highlights package. The full version is available via the Ultras FC TV YouTube channel. That was around about 3 minutes of the full 4-minute video through that channel. Good to relive, obviously, that wonderful goal against Rangers that put us 1-0 up, and also quite a number of other highlights, such as that wonderful pass over the top for the volleyed finish against St Mirren, and several others. Also quite interesting from the under-21 Portuguese international highlights. He obviously plays that wee bit further forward for Portugal in the 21s, more of an attacking midfielder rather than a central midfielder. And he clearly is able to play that more advanced O'Reilly style role, has a really good range of passing, also is able to drop that wee bit deeper, tackle in the midfield, come back and support the back four as well, and is actually usually quite a calm, efficient finisher, although we did miss that ability when he had a practically open goal to put us 2-0 up against Ross County on Saturday past. So just a wee bit of his stats. Paulo Bernardo, now 22. His birthday was on the 24th of January. 5'11". He has now 21 Portuguese under-21 caps, 6 goals and 1 assist in that time. And for Celtic has had 17 appearances in all competitions, 3 goals and 2 assists. He came through the Benfica youth system under 17, 19, 21s, played a number of UEFA Champions League youth league group matches then as well, and gravitated to the full Benfica side. For Benfica, full side, he played 26 games, of which 9 were starts and 17 were sub-appearances, and actually had quite a number of sub-appearances in the full Champions League whilst at Benfica, and also similar experience in the Europa League at Benfica. And he had 1 season away on loan for half the season in a lower league Portuguese side, Pacos de Ferreira, 13 games, 2 goals, 2 assists. So I think we can see from his stats at the various different levels at Benfica and at under-21 level, and our own experience of him in his half season for Celtic so far, that we have a very talented young player. The great majority of the pundits and experts feel that he is a player of already very good ability with potential to become an even better player. He is now 22, so starting to come into his sort of full strength and fitness. And I think, like Matt O'Reilly, who came to Celtic at a similar age, I think this is a player who over the next 2 or 3 years could become very much a key player for Celtic in Scottish football and in the European matches. It does look like Rodgers and the board are going to sign him in the summer, and that the fee of around 5 to 6 million euros was part of the original deal, and that seems now to be acceptable for both Celtic and Benfica. And so I think at the end of the season, it's more just a question of dotting the I's, crossing the T's, and then Bernardo will be a Celtic player on probably a 4-year contract. I think he definitely can move into that more advanced Matt O'Reilly role, but also has the flexibility to pull back into the more standard side-by-side central midfield role. And so I think we are getting a player of good ability who by next season will have fully got himself used to the Scottish way of life, teammates, coaches, the training regimes at Celtic, and I think we have potentially a very good player for a few seasons to power us towards greater success in the Champions League and more doubles and trebles in Scottish football. As always, delighted to see your own thoughts and comments regarding Paulo Bernardo. Do you feel he is the O'Reilly replacement? Do you agree that we need to sign him in the summer? And if you feel he isn't up to taking over the O'Reilly role, um, are there other players either at Celtic already or in the transfer market you think we could realistically take on for the O'Reilly role next season, assuming, as would be very much expected, O'Reilly moves on to one of the major 5 leagues in European football. As always, if you're new to the channel and have enjoyed this style of video, please do click that subscribe button. And as always, happy to read pleasant, polite, constructive comments in the comment section, and I'll do my best to reply or address them in future videos. So for today, whilst we're waiting for something to happen in the transfer market, thanks for listening and watching. Goodbye, and hail, hail.